So for 6.2, we are going to solve linear equation. So for linear equation, it is like this example given here. I think of a number, my number is x. If I multiply a number by 3, then add 1, the answer is 13. So you have to understand the progression here. So this is how it looks like when we calculate it. But we don't know what x is. So x times 3 plus 1 is equals to 13. So how do we find out what x is? We do the inverse function. Inverse function or inverse method means that we go upside down. So 13 minus 1 divided by 3, then we get x. So this is inverse method. But actually, what you have to understand is we are actually moving things here. So let's say if it is, I change the x to a so I can use the multiply symbol. A times 3 plus 1 is equals to 13. So here, I will actually, if I continue this, to calculate it mathematically, it's 3a plus 1 is equals to 13. Means 3 apple plus $1 is equals to $13. So how do I find out what 3 is? I just solve it mathematically. 3a is equals to 13. I move it using the bubble method here. This positive 1 move over becomes negative 1. 3a is equals to 12. A is equals to, so three apples equals to $12. So 1 apple is equals to $12 divided by 3. So A is equals to 4. So each apple is $4 here. So we continue here. This one is the mathematical version that I just showed you just now. This is called a linear equation. Linear means that there's always only one value. That you cannot say that, oh, the apple is 5 ringgit. Cannot, because if it changes the price, it's no longer equal to 13. So whenever we have this, we can only have one absolute value for this x here. Or else, it will be something called an inequality. But here you learn as linear equation, meaning that there can be only one solution. So if we look at the example here, it says that it gives you two different equations, 5x minus 2, 3x plus 6. But these two equations are equal. It means that this value here and this value here are equal. So if we want to solve it, what we need to do is we need to make sure the unknowns are on one side while the numbers are on the other side. So always try to make sure that your unknown is positive so that you don't need to deal with negative numbers later. So let's make this bigger. Okay, so I'm just going to draw a bubble for each and every one of them. So normally, if you're good at it, later on, you just need to draw bubbles with those with operations on their side. If you're not really good with it, you can draw for all of it. So when you draw for each and every one of it, you can see that, oh, how do I make sure x is positive? 5 is higher here. This is, if I put it over, it become minus 3. So I know that x, if on the left-hand side, then it will be a positive number. So I'm going to move this to the other side. So every time when I teach this chapter here, I always want you to imagine that there is something like a portal. This equal sign is like a portal. When a number passes through this portal, it will change its nature. Means that if it is positive, then it becomes a negative. If it's negative, then it will become a positive. So when this 3x comes over here, it will be 5x minus 3x, because positive will be changed to negative. Same goes to the other one. It means that if this negative 2 move past the portal to go to this side, it will change from negative to positive. So I will get equals to positive 6. I just write as 6 plus 2. So this is the equation that we want to solve. Then 5x minus 3x, we get 2x is equals to 8. And then x is equals to 8 divided by 2, 4. So this manner, we can actually solve. This is solving. When we solve it, means we can find out what what's the x value for it. So if you want to test it, we can actually put it in here. 5 times 4, 20 minus 2, 18. Same thing here, 4 times 3, 12 plus 6, 18. So this is correct. X is equals to 4 is correct because it will make sure both sides are equal. Then if we want to solve this one here, same thing, but we just need to make sure where x will be positive. So we rewrite it 5x plus 12 equals to 20 minus 11x. So if you are okay with it, then we don't need the bubble method. If you're not, then draw your bubbles. Bubble here. And draw your bubble here. Draw your bubble here. This is to ensure so that you don't make mistakes with your positive or negative. So move it through the portal. So I need to draw my portal now. So whenever we move through this portal, it will change. So positive here. So let's look at 5x, negative 11x. If I use mental calculation and move it over, it becomes a plus. So x should be on the left-hand side. So 5x plus 11x is equals to 20. Positive 12 move past the portal becomes a negative 12. Then we can solve it as usual. We get 16x is equals to 8. X is equals to 8 divided by 16. If you press in your calculator, you get 0.5. If you want to write it in fraction, it's half. So you get it this way. Simpler versions are like this. Other version is when we have to actually expand it. So for this one here, when we expand, we get 2 times y, 2 times negative 4. Then we get 2y minus 8. Same thing here. If you use a bubble, positive 4 times y, positive 4 times 2, we get 4y plus 8. Then make sure all your unknown is on the left-hand side or one side. Doesn't matter if it's on the left or it's on the right. As long as it's positive and it's on one side isolated, then we can move all the numbers to the other side. So 6y is equals to 30. Because this 8 and this 8 cancels off each other. And then y is equals to 30 divided by 6. Then we get 5. You don't really need to do it here because this is what they normally do. But I would prefer this portal method when a division move over to the multiplication move over to the other side becomes a division. Same thing here. What it means here is actually 6 times p divided by 7. So it's actually 6p over 7 is equals to 10. So if you know this one here, you can actually make do with it. This is a division. So move to the other side becomes a multiplication. So I can tell you that 6p is equals to 70. That's 10 times 7. When you move division or multiplication, the positive or negative doesn't change. If it's a negative, then it will continue to remain as a negative. Only when it's plus or minus, it will be inverse. P is equals to 70 divided by 6. Then P is equals to, if you write it in fraction, is 35 over 3. So that's the answer that's given here. And this should be, you should be able to do 6.2 after this.